right, this is an old saw that I got out of that black box that I redone in a video, a while back, and I have it at the store for display, and it had a bunch of old junk down in it, and I started to throw this out. The handle was broke, and I thought, no, I'll save it. I might do something with it, and it's been out in the garage, so I'm going to do something with it now. But I'm going to take you to my computer now and show you what I'm going to put on it. And I'm going to make a sign with it. Alright, this is what I've got done so far. I just drew a rectangle and I measured the length that I needed and the width at the top. And then I just pulled it in here, right in here, to, I think it was 2 inches to give me that angle. And I've picked out this font, and it is, what is it? LW Mercantile. Now, I'm going to need to resize my font. If I can get that highlighted. There we go. And I am going to pull it about like that, I believe. I want to start working with these 2 here. Let's just pull it on now, like, I'm going to do this. Whoops, got the wrong thing. Okay, I believe my W and my O, I'm going to separate these. I'm going to highlight them, and I'm going to ungroup them. That way each letter is a different size. And I want this just a little larger. That one maybe just a little bit larger. And this one's going to have to go a little smaller. But I'm going to work with my fonts until I get them the way I want them. And then I'll cut this out in stencil vinyl. But I'm going to work with this. It's going to take me a little bit to maneuver all this the way I want it. And then I'll cut it out in stencil vinyl and put it on my saw and put this workshop on there. So I'm going to work on this and I'll be back. Okay, this is what I've done. And I made me some flourishes in case I wanted to put some on there. And they'll cut out individual boxes and I can use them and maneuver them hopefully the way I want them. And now I'm going to take my stencil vinyl and send it through the Cameo and cut this out and get started on it. Alright, I got this cut and I have it on there. And I was using this, but I didn't think it was quite vibrant enough, but this stuff really, I was testing on the back side. Now you can't really see it. This was it right here, that little dot, and it would not scratch off. This paint came off a lot easier, so I decided to give this a base coat with this, and I'm hoping this Folk Art Royal Gold will show up better. It's just a little lighter. So I'm going to go with that right now. I got to be careful because I do have some places in here that, like on that O, I can go under it real easy. So I'm going to try this. I'll have to give it several coats, I think. Yeah, that's going to show up better. I'm wondering. Looking like there's supposed to be something. No, that's right. I was wondering if I missed a piece of vinyl pulling it. right in there is where I got to be careful. I don't want to go under the, or under here, because I do have kind of a bubble right there. I'm going to go across, and I'm going to give it one coat of this. And the color is, what, if I don't know if I said Royal Gold by Folk Art. Ooh, I forgot to dab that. But when I finish giving it 2 coats, I'll come back and we'll pull it up and see what it looks like. And from there, I'll decide if I want to put a flourish or something on it. I've cut some, so I have them ready if I want them. Yeah, I think this color gold is going to show up way better than this one. All right, I got the stencil on. It's not perfect, but it looks good. And I did go ahead and decide to put some flourishes on it. I'm going to use this Americana Country Red. I should have had this ready to go. Well, I'm not going to sit there and mess with that. I'm hoping this will show up. I needed a color that would show, so this is what I'm going with. I've got one on each end. Oh, I forgot to pull this one down here. Got to pull it off very carefully. I'll start with it. Got to go get my other tripod. This is pretty challenging. I'm going to go ahead and do both sides of this, give it several coats. Make sure it shows up. Bring this one down. I had to cut that right there. I'll be careful when I tear it up. Make sure I don't pull this up. I am going to seal it when I am finished putting all the paint on. I'm going to let this dry just a little bit and go back over it with another coat or two. Okay, I'm pulling this off now. We'll see if it shows up and what it looks like. Yeah, that shows up. Well, I gotta get under that. Careful not to scratch it. Yeah, that looks good. Got a little red right there. Now I'll go down and do this end. I can get this vinyl off my fingers. It's sticking. All right, I think that turned out pretty cute for just a workshop sign. And an old saw that was going to the trash. If nobody likes it, I'll take it and put it in my husband's workshop. I have a shingle that I've cut to the size I need, and I'm going to use my, let's see, this is the vinegar and steel wool that I put together or made. It's just pure vinegar and you put extra fine steel wool in it and let it set till it starts turning. Take the steel wool out. And really, I think vinegar do the same thing. But I'm going to age the wood, make it look darker. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to let it dry good. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with it from there. All right, this is dry, and you can see it turned old looking, and not a lot of the wood's going to be showing on this. Well, really, none of the wood I don't think is going to be showing on this, but I didn't want just the shingle color. This is the image that I picked out, and I printed it out on a legal size paper. And if you didn't have legal size, you could, or your print, well, I think everybody's printer does legal. It's just plain copy paper. And I have to make sure I have this right, because my shingle kind of tapers up at the top. Seems like it's, yeah, that's it right there. That's where I want it. And I didn't have to paint the back of this or the wood white or anything because my paper is already white. I love this image. I think it's so pretty. I love sunflowers though. I'm going to make sure I have it on there the way I want it. Okay, that is it. I'm going to pull this back and start Mod Podging it on. And I did give my image two coats of hairspray so it wouldn't bleed on me. Let's see. Well, I've got tags in that. I'm trying to find a piece of cellophane. That'll work. I have tags that I've saved that I've printed out in it. But it was near me and it'll work. I'm not as apt to tear the paper as you are tissue. And while I'm doing this one, I'll show you the next one. I had another board that I got ready. I'll show you that here in just a second, because I want to get them both Mod Podged and let them dry. So I can decorate them. I don't know that I'm going to do too much to this one though. Some people like a little more stuff on them, like, you know. Some people don't, so I need to have a mixture of both. Making sure I'm getting it to the edge. Okay, I am going to finish Mod Podging this one, then I'll come back and show you the other image and what it is. All right, I have this one all finished. I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. I did put a coat of Mod Podge on the top. And then when it dries, I'll probably take my finger sander and go around the edges. Maybe some dark wax around the edges. We'll see. And then this is the other board that I put the vinegar solution on. And then I fussy cut this one while I let my Cameo do it. But this wouldn't be hard if you printed it out and fussy cut around it. It's not that hard to do. There's not a lot to it. So this is what I'm going to put on there. And then I've cut 2 boards that I want to use across there. And then I'll do some decorating with it. This one I am just going to, oh, I need my board to see exactly where I want my image. I'm going to have to turn my light or something. My head's always in the way. I think about right in there. Make sure that's straight. And I don't know how I'm going to do this one. Because I don't want to really get Mod Podge on my... Now, I think I'm going to have to set this aside and do this. Because I don't want the Mod Podge on my board. Make sure it's good and soaked. Okay. Bring this back over here. Needed to go over just a smidget. Right there. Okay. Put that down. This one I'll probably decorate up a little more than that one there. Make sure my edges are all down. And then I'll just very carefully go over the top of it with Mod Podge. Then when I come back, we'll see how I got to have it decorated. See what I can pull out. Kit Kat. Okay, I'm just showing you. I just barely, I'm going over and giving a coat of Mod Podge on the top of the image. And I also got this image from Creative Fabrica, and I'll leave it linked also. I think there was more than one image on this one, but I'm not sure on this one over here. Yeah, there was on this because I had to pick which mason jar I wanted. There was like 4 or 5 mason jars in one file. Okay. All right, I'll come back. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to put these on. I'll probably put some glue and then some brad nails, but you could just glue them down. And then maybe, you know, after they've glued, kind of set something heavy on them to where they really bond with the wood. That way they would stay. Or some clamps. Okay, I thought I'd show you. Here's the page on Creative Fabrica. You get 10 different sunflower jars. And then on the other one, nope, it wasn't that. Nope, I've got a lot of things opened here. Vintage, yeah, there it is. This is actually a junk journal ephemera. And you do get those 4 images. Okay, I am fiddling with this. I did wrap some jute around the bottom. I need to trim that. And I don't know whether to just leave it like that. I've made a messy bow to go up there. I don't know. Of course, I'll have to trim some of that off. I wonder if I should just maybe hang it up. Let me see. I don't know. This is where I have trouble. I mess with stuff way too long. Okay, I'll just put that there kind of like that. Or maybe put it in the middle, off to the side. I don't know. Well, I'll fiddle with it some more. And I've also, let's see, I did drill 2 little holes on each side and run some rusty wire through there. Made little loops there, and that will hang it. And I didn't want a great big messy bow. I mean, a really full messy bow. So I've just got to figure out whether I want to tie that on there or just hot glue it there. If I hot glue it right there, if they don't like it, they can gently take it up, I think, and take the glue off. That's one thing about hot glue. If you're careful, you can get it off. But now, there's not a lot you can do to these. I'm trying to figure if I want a messy bow on this one. Let me see. I'll use this one. This kind of has the same colors in it. Kind of like it. Let me try something. Not that one I have a little orange on. I really don't want that. Well, instead of having y'all sit here and see me hum-haw around, I'm going to figure out what I want to do, and I'll come back and show you how I finish it. How's that? Because it does take me a while to kind of look and think about things I have in the craft room and what I could do. Here's how I finished them up. On this one, I don't know, I just left it kind of plain, and it was just looking bland, so I just took a brush with some black paint and swashed across there to make it, give it a little older look. Put a little button there and then the hanger with a little twist here to hang it. And I'm going to leave that the way it is now. And with this one, I did put the bow on it with some Sweet Annie, and I had a tag that I had already done up, and it says sunflower on it. And I'm finished with this one. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until the next one, we'll see you later.